Now, farmers are bracing themselves for another financial blow, with Fonterra expected to slash its forecast payout again. It will make the announcement at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It comes after global dairy prices plunged earlier this week, marking the 10th consecutive fall. National MP Judith Collins is in Auckland with us to talk about that and other things. Judith, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
And in Wellington, as always, Labour's Deputy Leader Annette King. Annette, good morning.
Good morning.
Now,
what's that buttercup you've got beside you?
Well, no, exactly. It is the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room.
Oh, no, less than the elephant, thank you.
Exactly. I have to explain that. So, Judith,
like
you're wearing a
daffodil.
fluoro jacket.
Yes.
Because you have been appointed patron of the Papakura Crime Watch Patrol.
That's right. And also I was out on patrol last night. I was doing a late shift with the guys.
Who did you frighten last night?
We frightened someone who seemed to be acting quite strangely, and we called the police. And I have to say, the police officer who came along, he seemed to get a bit of a fright when I popped out of the car. So he was a very nice man too.
So are you here demonstrating your philanthropic credentials?
I'm here demonstrating that we need a few more volunteers for the Papakura Community Crime Watch Patrol, please.
Oh, that's very
and
nice.
I support
isn't
that,
it?
Paul.
Yeah.
I support that, Paul. I've been out in community patrol in my own area. They're a fantastic organisation.
Oh,
Good
you
on you,
probably
Judith.
been out to more
It's a
than-
great night out.
Yeah. Got your high vis?
Well, not on me. I've got one at home, though.
Oh, good. Very good. Yeah.
God, who'd be a politician?
Oh, it's so much
Sit around
fun.
talking about your high-vis, your free high-vis vests. All right, here's one reason you might be a politician: for the pay. So the announcements just came out this morning, Annette. 2.6% pay rise this time round. This is based on the new rules that John Key put into place, ironically, to keep pay increases down. Are you happy with that?
Well, it's not a matter of whether I'm happy or not, but the first point I'd make is when politicians decide to fiddle with the way that the salaries are set, this is what happens. So we have put through a law saying we were going to restrict them. Now it looks like we're going to get what's been the average since about 2007. So, it is what it is. We end up wearing the mud because it's set by somebody else and everybody thinks we're on the take. Well, Judith, I'm sure will agree, we don't go in and ask for that. It's set independently of us, but we did change the formula by law in Parliament under the leadership of Prime Minister.
And you guys voted for it, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Of course we voted for it.
Yeah.
Of course we voted for it. You had to vote for it.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this earlier this morning, and I mean the consensus in this room is that is not an outrageous amount of money given the amount of work that you guys do, and we want to attract the best of the best. But do you think we're attracting the best of the best? Present company accepted.
Well, obviously we are a House of Representatives, and I think we actually do a pretty good job as a House of Representatives, and I'd say everybody in New Zealand could say that there's probably someone representing their interests and their views, and that's one of the good things with MMP. But I'd also say too is that thank you very much, New Zealand, if we do get a pay rise. It is appreciated, and I'm not one to turn my nose up at something like that.
And as you say, you guys, you don't do it for the money, obviously.
No,
I'm sure there are some in there that are doing it for the money because they couldn't be employed anywhere else, but you guys are not in that situation. You could probably name some of those too. Who would you name, Annette?
Oh, look, I don't agree with you, Paul. I think to actually get elected to Parliament, you have to go through a pretty rigorous process, as you know.
Well, not always to be a list MP, actually.
Oh, and certainly in our party, to become a list MP isn't easy, and there's so much competition for the places. So there's nobody in there that I would say that I would kick out. I mean, some are stronger than others, but that is what New Zealand's like. It is a House of Representatives.
All right, a couple of very quick things. I mentioned dairy at the beginning here, Annette. Is there more that can be done? I mean, obviously, actual dairy prices, world prices, are basically out of the control of the government, but we are in this worrying situation now where we could be on the cusp of seeing farmers walking off the land, some of them at least.
Yes, it is very worrying, and you know that it's going to hit not just farmers. I mean, we talk about farmers, but you go to the regions, you take out millions and millions of dollars out of the economy for retailers, for contractors and so on, and you really get the impact of dairy pricing drop. So, I mean, in terms of what's happening internationally, no, there's not much we can do except to seek other markets. But in the meantime, we've really got to look at what else we can produce in those regions that doesn't just rely on dairying.
Well, dairying is 20% of our economy, so it's not 80% that it once was, it's 20%, but it is still very significant, and my concern is actually for the farmers and their families. And I come from dairy farming family, and I know the stresses that people go through, and I would say what concerns me too are the possible suicides, as well as walking off farm. So this is not just someone's livelihood, it's their home, and it's actually their sense of respect and identity.
That's actually a very good point, because there are a lot of people running businesses, a lot of people get into strife and they go under with a business. Yeah. But with farms, it's not just the business.
It doesn't matter what entity you've got it in, you're still going to lose your home.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, very quick question for both of you, and it's a sort of related question. Obviously, we've moved on since last week. The TPP, the talks failed. Spoke to Tim Grosser the other day. He still is reasonably hopeful. Judith, are you hopeful? If you had to put money on it, do you think that deal will be signed?
I'm not a gambling person. I would put money on it. It will be signed, in my opinion, and it will be signed in a way that's good for New Zealand.
Annette, what do you think?
I think it's 50-50 because the Canadians are now in the election campaign. They'll be looking at how they can be re-elected. They are going to put up barriers. I think it's 50-50, Paul.
Okay. All right. I thank you both very much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Annette King, Judith Collins. Thank you.
Thanks very much.